This is EAA Girsan MC14T Tip-Up 380 ACP. First range report. Let's hit the range.
We are out at the range today. We're trying out something new to the channel. This is I would say a unique firearm, but in reality it's just a clone of a Beretta 86. This is the Girsan MC14T Tip-Up. Now the selling point on this firearm, according to EAA, is this tip-up barrel. So let me show you what that's all about. With the slide closed, you can even have the hammer down, safety on. You can load a magazine into the firearm. I haven't even fired this yet, so this will be the first time we do it here. And then you can, this lever on the right side will tip up the barrel, which is nice for verifying your firearm is, say, unloaded or loaded. But then you can take a round, you can just drop it into the barrel, close the barrel, and now your firearm, theoretically, is ready to fire. If your glove can stay strapped. Here we go. Let's give it a try. Safety is on. Ambidextrous safety. The safety does disengage the trigger, as you can see. Let's go ahead and remove the safety, and we'll fire some shots and see how it functions. This is the first magazine through the firearm. Winchester 95 grain target ammo. Here we go. Okay. Looks like a very tight group, though I would say a good 6 inches low. We'll see if that trend continues with all of our ammo here today. It could just be how I am looking at the sights. I might need to aim up a little higher. Here we go. Let's try. Now, they only give you one 13-round magazine, unfortunately. But it looks like my Beretta Cheetah magazines should work. Let's give it a try and see if they do. Beretta mags work just fine. Let's do one more. All right, first 3 magazines through the firearm, pretty flawless. Might shoot a smidge low with the range ammo, but that also could just be me. Let's go ahead and reload our magazines, and we will do a couple magazines. Well, we'll do a magazine through the Cheetah and a magazine through the Girsan to compare here.
Before we get into that comparison, let's first get into the numbers on this MC14T. Now, of note, there are multiple finish options on this. We went with the dark earth, so in our upcoming videos, you can tell a difference between the Girsan and our other 380s that are usually, we'll say, black firearms. The firearm is 6.8 inches long, 4.9 inches high, 1.4 inches wide, and weighs in at 22.4 ounces unloaded. Note, I was unable to confirm the height and width independently. The firearm has a 4.5 inch steel barrel with a steel slide and forged aluminum alloy frame. The defining characteristic of this firearm would be the tip-up barrel that can be used for the easy unloading and loading of this firearm without needing to articulate the slide. The barrel tip-up lever is located on the right side of the frame of the firearm. The firearm has a 3 white dot sight system, with the rear sight being drift adjustable for windage. The front sight is not adjustable and is fixed to the barrel, unfortunately. And now let's head back to the range and do that quick comparison.
Now for our comparison, we're going to use that same Winchester target and practice ammo 95 grain full metal jacket. And what I've done is I've loaded 10 rounds in the magazine we're going to shoot out of the Girsan. And I've left an 11th round so we can load the tip-up barrel. And we're going to shoot at the top target on our shoot and see target. We're then going to shoot 11 rounds out of our Beretta at the bottom target on our shoot and see target. I have 11 rounds loaded in the magazine for the Beretta, and we are going to load that in the traditional manner by racking the slide. Here we go. Start with the Girsan here. And so we can put our magazine in. We can take a round right into the tip-up barrel. Oh, hold on. Let's drop the hammer. We'll even put the safety on. Okay, so we will load our magazine, tip up the barrel, load our +1. Firearm should be ready to fire now. Once we get the safety off, we're going to shoot again at the top target, 11 shots. First shot will be double action, next 10 will be single action. Here we go. Okay, good reliability, pretty good accuracy. I'm going to guess one of those low ones is my double action shot, but we'll have to go to the camera to tell. Okay. Now we are going to do 11 rounds, bottom target. We have no tip-up barrel, so let's go ahead and articulate the slide to load a round. Still pretty easy. First shot will be double action. Here we go. Actually, I want the hammer all the way down. Let's do this again. I'm going to put the hammer all the way down instead of using the decocker. There's a reason for that I'll come back to. Double action trigger, half cock. Okay. Probably a better on target group with the Beretta.
We're going to take a brief break from the range segment to say we brought along the Cheetah today more so as a first range report measuring stick, not because it is going to be, or I should say this video is our comparison between the Girsan and the Cheetah. We are going to be doing a video shortly in the future covering we're going to say a comparison between this Girsan and the Cheetah. So look for that. This is not that video, so keep that in mind. And now let's get back to the range.
Maybe. But they look pretty similar to me. All right, let's do a quick defensive ammo test here. We're just going to do out of the Girsan today. Normally we do from both. We've already seen the Beretta many times. We're going to start with ammo, we'll say. And we're just going to do the Girsan in today's video for the defensive ammo test. That's really what we care about in this video for our first range report is the Girsan. So, first test is going to be our favorite 380 defensive ammo, the Hornady Critical Defense. This is a, you think with my favorite I know the numbers, 90 grain FTX ballistic tip. Now, the nice thing about Critical Defense is it's usually priced pretty affordably for defense ammo, and they give you 25 instead of 20 like most of the others, which is nice. Okay, so we're going to do 10 in the magazine and then +1 in the tip-up barrel. Fire at the left-hand target. Here we go. 10 shots. First shot will be double action. We're going to try half cock, like what the Cheetah goes to when you use the decocker. Here we go. So 11 shots. Okay, here we go. And I might mix in some double taps. Okay, not a very spectacular group out there. Maybe 9 of 11 on the paper. I mean, we hit the paper, and we had good reliability. Let's go ahead and reload. And what we'll do is our next ammo, which is Winchester Silver Tip. This is a 85 grain defensive jacketed hollow point. And the same as before, we're going to do 10 +1. Now, because this only came with one magazine, and unfortunately, the stores I looked at do not carry spare magazines, so I'm going to have to order if I want more magazines. But these are actually Metgear mags. They're even stamped Metgear on them. It's not like they're a, quote, manufacturer branded magazine like Beretta does, where they buy Metgear mags but with their logo on them. So really I don't have to buy more mags. I can just use the Beretta mags. The reason I did not load those magazines for this test is I don't want people trying to call some type of shenanigans if there happens to be a failure during a Beretta magazine to be like, oh, it's the Beretta magazine, even though they're, you know, both Metgears. Anyway, here we go. 11 shots, Winchester Silver Tip. First shot, again, loaded in the tip-up barrel. First round will also be double action. Here we go. Middle target. Okay, a better group out there. That's probably me being in a little better rhythm. Okay, for the last one, we're going to do the leftovers that I have in these 6 Hour Elite and Spear Gold Dot boxes. Probably only like 3 in the Spear Gold Dot. Three in the SIG Elite Defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 Hornady Critical Defense. We'll do 4 Hornady Critical Defense. No, wait, no, we won't. Yeah, we will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. We'll do that one as the tip-up round. Okay. 3 Winchester silver tip. All it's really missing is the partridge in a pear tree on this one. Okay, the right-hand target. Probably no double taps this magazine. Throw those away. Okay, so what we're going to do, right-hand target, it's going to be 14 shots. We're going to start with our tip-up barrel loaded round of Hornady critical defensive single shot, double action. Next 3 rounds will be Winchester silver tip. Next 3 rounds will be Hornady critical defense. The last 3 rounds will be, then the next 3 rounds will be SIG Elite Defense. The last 3 rounds will be Spear Gold Dot. Should have looked at all the numbers off the boxes. We'll just have to wing it. It's kind of like Wheel of Fortune, or my numbers don't really matter. Here we go. First shot, double action, 14 rounds. There we go. Pretty decent group for me out there. 0 failures all day. Let's not lie, let's talk about that. Pretty decent accuracy.
Video.
If you're still watching at this point and you enjoyed the video, think about mashing those like and subscribe buttons. Not only does it help the channel with that algorithm everyone talks about, but more importantly, it helps a good cause. The money we get from Google for the content on this channel is donated to charity, 100% of it. The first check we got from Google wasn't much, a little over $122, but every little bit helps. I picked 2 charities that are important to the crew: the Children's Hospital of Orange County and the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Half of that check went to each organization, plus a little extra to cover all the fees. Good times. When we say thanks for watching, we really do appreciate it. Your viewership helps us do something positive with firearms related content. Thanks for watching. And now, let's get to the conclusion to today's video. Today, we took our first look at the EAA Girsan MC14T tip-up 380 ACP pistol. In many ways, this feels like a clone of the Beretta Model 86, which is a branch of the Model 80 line where the front end was redesigned to have a tip-up barrel like featured on this Girsan MC14T. There are 2 noticeable differences, however. They are the MC14T is a double-stacked magazine-fed pistol, giving it a better capacity, and it also has an attachment rail. It almost feels like Girsan is trying to beat Beretta to the punch with something like a Model 86X. From what I can tell, the firearm is made in Turkey by Girsan, sold under license in the US by EAA. We are lucky, and this MC14T arrived in the mail well ahead of schedule. We are also lucky in that we had less than ideal weather to test this firearm in today. Now, before you get your panties in a bunch and call shenanigans, look at the view counts on our videos. We purchased this firearm at normal consumer just like you prices. We didn't get some slicked up made for perfect reviews firearm videos. If we had the ability to get specials like that with our view count, we certainly would have used that ability to schedule better weather than we had today, which was 40 degrees Fahrenheit with winds gusting to 30 miles per hour. As I said, ideal weather for a first range session with a firearm. After one day with this firearm, the Girsan MC14T is trending towards the gym side of our promo image post. Before we get into those pros, is this the most perfect firearm ever? No. But I do think it has a few things going for it. Before we get into those pros, let's first hit on a few cons I have right out the gate. One con with this firearm, at least where I live, is that it's not carried in stores. I had to special order it. Contrary to the horror stories you might read on the inner tubes, ordering firearms sight unseen, no matter what brand, this one arrived in excellent condition. I've actually never had an issue the handful of times I've ordered something on faith, but that's just me, and I don't care about minor, finish blemishes or whatever. Being new for 2023, and also relatively unknown where I live, if I do need replacement parts, I probably won't be able to get them locally. The front sight is attached to the barrel, and you have limited options as far as that goes. The biggest issue so far for me is the firearm doesn't have a catchy name like Hellcat, or Cheetah, or P365, Deagle, Noisy Cricket. You get the idea. When I was doing paperwork at the FFL and customers walked up to me asking what I purchased, I went, it's hard to remember MC14T on the spot like that. If that's our biggest issue, let's move on to this list of positives so far. So far, this firearm has been reliable. It has very mild recoil, is easy to shoot, easy to operate, and is capable of shooting accurate and precise groups. The single action and double action trigger were both surprisingly good. Not quite as good as that on my ADX, but actually not that far behind. On camera, we fired one type of range ammo and a few different personal protection ammos. Off camera, we fired a few more different types of range ammo. Everything we fired today worked without issue. I found the firearm to be comfortable in the hand both with and without gloves. The dark earth finish appears to be some type of ceramic coating that I won't need to treat like a safe queen and probably will do okay in a toolbox with wrenches. It'll probably get nicked up a bit, but the firearm will probably still work. Many people are going to see that tip-up barrel and say something like, "I've never seen that before, why would you do that?" EAA does a good job in their marketing video explaining, but I'll try to give you my Bacon Notes version here. There are people who, for whatever reason, have issues manipulating the slide of a pistol. The tip-up barrel allows those users to load the firearm without needing to articulate the slide. For the most part today, I made a point of loading this firearm using the tip-up barrel to try and help reinforce the idea you don't need to articulate the slide at all, under ideal conditions, to use this firearm. It was surprisingly easy to use without ever articulating the slide manually. Now I'm able-bodied. It being easy for me to work the slide on the Beretta doesn't mean much to the consumer EAA is targeting here. Here's what I can say. Being able to tip up the barrel and load a pistol without having to articulate the slide is less physically demanding compared to having to manually articulate that slide to load around in the chamber. In this case, I would go as far as to say it would be easier than swinging open the cylinder on a revolver. If not easier, at least on par. In an ideal world, what that then gives you is greater capacity and a faster reload compared to a revolver. Loading the magazine versus loading the cylinder of a revolver, that's a different story for another day, but it probably includes friends and family who can help you in advance in this case. Anyway. The tip-up barrel, I think, is also an extremely nice and undervalued feature to have when it comes to being able to verify your firearm is unloaded or loaded. You tip up the barrel, drop out the round and can visually look down the barrel to see it is empty. If you're not sure later, you can just open the barrel again and check. No need to work the slide or hunt for a tiny loaded chamber indicator or flag. After day 1 with the Girsan, if there's one big question mark, it is what happens in the event of a failure. Today we didn't have one, which is what everyone wants after all. Murphy's Law says at some point there will be a failure. There'll be one. Will the lack of an extractor impact our ability to clear a failure in a timely manner? On one hand, I hope to never find out, but on the other, I feel like we need to find out for future reference. As the closing thoughts to the first range report on this Girsan MC14T tip-up, I'll say we are pleasantly surprised. If the results we saw today continue as we do the head-to-head comparisons against the channel's favorite 380s, this one could find itself in the ranks of the best 380s available today. Only time will tell. We hope you're looking forward to finding out as much as we are. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good day.